Sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Our St. John's cameras currently showing mostly cloudy conditions this Tuesday afternoon, but some sunshine peeking through that dense cloud cover. Notice on satellite and radar, other than those partly cloudy to partly sunny conditions, we are still generally fairly quiet across the lower peninsula. Temperature-wise, 64 degrees in Lansing, 62 for our current temperature in St. John's, and 66 degrees in places like Howell and over in Mason as well. We are staying dry as we go throughout the day, bouncing in between partly to mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures will be topping out in the upper 60s, and then the chance for rain will be moving in overnight tonight. 6 News at Noon starts right now.
WMMS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at Noon.
Right now at noon, the Israeli hostages are back home and starting the healing process. It is our top story at noon. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kirk Montgomery. President Trump celebrated the return, but says the work is not done yet. He doesn't just want the war in Gaza to end. He says he's looking for peace in the Middle East. Natalie Brand is here for you now with the very latest.
With the skies over Gaza City calm Tuesday, bulldozers began clearing mountains of rubble in the war-torn region. The destruction and magnitude of debris is also making it more difficult to recover the bodies of the 28 remaining hostages killed in captivity. So far, just 4 have been returned.
It's obviously even bigger challenge than having, I would say, the people alive being released. That's a massive challenge.
Families say the return of all of the remains is a key element of the ceasefire agreement. Even as all 20 living hostages freed Monday reunite with loved ones. One of them was Omri Moran, now home with his family. CBS Morning spoke to his brother-in-law.
It's definitely the most special moment we'll cherish for the rest of our lives. And now we're focusing on his healing, focusing on our family being complete again.
President Trump, who arrived back to the White House overnight, says he's committed to his 20-point peace plan. He says the next phase will focus on rebuilding Gaza.
Restoring the basics of a good life. We're going to have a lot of money coming into Gaza and a lot of rebuilding and building. It's not so much rebuilding, it's really building.
The World Bank and others estimate the price tag could exceed $50 billion.
What is needed in Gaza today is monumental, and every single country around the globe needs to chip in to make it a livable place for its people.
The plan calls for a demilitarized Gaza with regional and international partners helping develop a security force to protect civilians. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And we are working to learn more today about a body found in the Red Cedar River near Michigan State University's campus. Details are extremely limited, but here's what we do know so far. The East Lansing Police Department says the body was found in the river Sunday night just east of Cedar Village. Investigators have yet to identify the body or determine how the person died. But both East Lansing and MSU police tell 6 News they do not believe the community is in any danger. Stay with 6 News as we work to bring you updates on this developing story. New at noon, General Motors will record a negative impact of $1.6 billion in its next quarter after tax incentives for electric vehicles were slashed by the U.S. government and rules governing emissions are relaxed. Shares dipped 3% before the opening bell today. The EV tax credit ended last month. The clean vehicle tax credit was worth $7,500 for new EVs and up to $4,000 for used ones. General Motors, which has led the way among U.S. automakers with plans to convert production to an electric fleet of vehicles, warned that more hits may be ahead as it adjusts production under a new administration. And a Texas company now looking to build a large battery energy storage facility on vacant land in Jackson County, but it's already sparking concerns among community members. The company approached Summit Township earlier this year with a proposal to put a 13-acre facility at the western edge of the township next to an existing Consumers Energy substation. The township says it will feature a 270 megawatt battery storage system to help support the grid's reliability. But people living there tell 6 News they're concerned about the potential environmental impacts. The Summit Township Planning Commission will hold a meeting about the project. It's tonight at 6 at the township offices on Ferguson Road. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers have been using a full-body restraint device called the WRAP during deportations. The Associated Press spoke to a number of people who said they were placed in the device after they'd already been shackled. ICE's use of this WRAP has continued despite concerns about its safety expressed 2 years ago by a watchdog division of its parent agency, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Now, the manufacturer says the device is intended for violent individuals, but detainees claim it is used to intimidate or punish them. But the AP found ICE officials have a much lower threshold for deploying the WRAP than the manufacturer advises. A DHS spokesperson says ICE's use of the restraints is, quoting now, fully in line with established legal standards. Today in history, back in 1947, U.S. Air Force Captain Chuck Yeager became the first person to break the sound barrier. It happened as they flew a Bell X-1 rocket plane over a dry lake bed in California. And then in 2012, Yeager, at the age of 89, marked the 65th anniversary of that flight by smashing through the sound barrier again, this time in the back seat of an F-15. And do you have your tickets for tonight's Mega Millions drawing? For just the 11th time in Mega Millions history, the jackpot has now reached $600 million. The estimated cash value, just over $277 million. The drawing will take place at 11 o'clock tonight.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
It's a very quiet Tuesday afternoon across mid-Michigan. Satellite and radar currently showing dry and mainly mostly cloudy to partly cloudy conditions across our region. However, notice off to our west and northwest there is a system that will eventually introduce the chance for a couple of very light rain showers across our area overnight tonight. Rainfall totals are going to be incredibly minimal. Until those rain showers arrive, we're going to be decreasing the cloud cover across mid-Michigan this afternoon. So mostly sunny, partly cloudy conditions will be in place this evening, and then very early Wednesday morning, that's when those scattered light sprinkles will be making their way into mid-Michigan. I do think all of this activity will be well off to our south by the time we hit daybreak tomorrow, so most of our Wednesday will feature dry conditions. Cloud cover will be a little bit heavier early Wednesday morning. It'll slowly decrease as we go throughout the day. That'll give way to more dry weather and more sunshine as we move into our Thursday. As I mentioned, rainfall totals with the system that we are expecting overnight tonight are going to be incredibly limited. I think at most we'll be picking up on 1/10 of an inch of rain across the area. Most of us only a few hundredths of an inch of precipitation. Notice this particular model showing most of us might not even see any rain across the area. The good news is that we do have a few additional chances for rain in the forecast, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty decent amount. Rainfall totals across the area over the course of the next 5 days could be anywhere between 1 to 2 inches, but the timing of this is going to be rather unfortunate. We are looking at a system that eventually will be making its way into mid-Michigan. By the time we hit late Friday evening, we'll get a little bit of a break from that rain as we move into early Saturday morning. Then Saturday afternoon, more widespread soaking rain showers will be making their way into the area. It is going to stick around for Sunday with the potential for maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder across the area as well. Outside right now, again, partly to mostly cloudy conditions currently in place. Temperatures here in Lansing already at 64 degrees. It has been relatively breezy this morning. A peak wind gust of 12 miles per hour was reported earlier today. Over in Grand Ledge, currently sitting at 63 degrees. Those dew point temperatures currently in the upper 50s, and we get a really nice view at some of the fall foliage in the background of our Grand Ledge camera. Cloud cover has returned for at least the time being here in Jackson. Right around an hour and a half ago, we were looking at widespread sunshine, so we're going to continue to bounce in between this variable cloud cover as we go throughout the rest of the day. However, in Jackson, temperatures currently at 68 degrees, winds at 6 miles per hour. Notice a lot more sunshine over in Hillsdale, currently at 67. That peak wind gust up to 7 miles per hour. Winds overall will remain relatively calm as we go throughout the rest of the day. Temperatures topping out in the upper 60s. Again, introducing the chance for just a couple of very light sprinkles overnight tonight as our overnight lows cool down to 47 degrees. Your 6-day forecast shows that we are actually going to be cooling things down slightly below average as we move into our Wednesday. Highs in the low 60s. Again, dry conditions in the forecast for most of the day. That cloud cover will decrease, and then notice temperatures will be rebounding right back into the upper 60s just in time for Friday. That cloud cover increasing by then. And of course, unfortunately, it's going to be followed by the chance for rain. So just soak up all of the dry weather we have during the week.
And early Saturday looks okay, right?
Yes, early Saturday looks dry as of right now.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, unseasonably severe weather hitting the nation from coast to coast. We'll have that when we return. So keep it right here. 6 News at noon. We'll be right back.